Welcome back to Princesscoree. I'm so excited to see you back here for another video. Thanks for clicking on, and I really hope you enjoyed this video. Have you ever woke up feeling like something is really deeply wrong with you? Not because you've not been trying. You've actually been trying, but the way things have been going just doesn't reflect on the way you've been trying. And so you feel like the problem is you. I'm here to tell you two things. First of all, nothing is wrong with you. And second of all, we all have those thoughts. Today, I want to talk about something really important because it's a new year and we've all set goals, but we've set goals before. The difference with 2024 is that we want to achieve growth and achieve our goals. And because we've set goals before and not always achieve them, we need to identify the reasons why. Thinking you're the problem only fuels negative thoughts and emotions. Today, I'm going to talk about the top 20 blocks identified by individuals through a survey. I need you to know that whatever these issues are and however you relate to them, there's always a way to overcome and grow. And the entire point of identifying these issues is so that we can identify the patterns of action or inaction in our lives that is causing us not to reach our goals and be the person that we work so hard to be. Let me tell a little story that I don't really like to talk about, but I'm learning to overcome my triggers, and so this is part of the whole process. I do not like doctor's appointments. Doctor's appointments trigger me so badly. They trigger all of my stress responses, all of my anxiety, all of my depression, every single thing. In 2020, I was diagnosed with depression. I did not take the diagnosis very well because of what I knew about depression. I did not have any positive biases about depression at the time. And of course, I didn't tell anyone. Many people might just be finding about this after watching this video, but that's okay. It's a personal journey, and I really do feel like my life is a personal journey. So I don't always feel the need to share certain things that are going on in my life. People that care about me enough understand, and other people will be fine. Anyway, back to the story. Ever since that diagnosis, every doctor's appointment has led to tears and me getting triggered. So ever since 2020, every doctor's appointment has felt like a visit to jail. Literally, it's bad. It's the worst. It's so bad that even when I need to go to the doctor, I just would rather find other remedies than actually go into the doctor's office. Another thing that triggers me so much is the wait time. Sometimes I've actually gone in because I really needed to see a doctor, and after the wait time, I just give up and go home. My health has been a little bit, or sometimes a lot, of a hindrance towards me achieving my goals. And it's hard for me to accept this and acknowledge this because I don't even feel comfortable enough to share this part of myself with people. And it's important to identify and acknowledge the things that are blocking you from achieving your goals in order to overcome them. You can only achieve growth through identifying whatever patterns are there, problem solving, and then doing the work that it takes to grow through the issue. Ignoring the issue is not going to work. I don't like confrontation, so I'm an expert at avoiding the things that bother me, but we're not doing that in 2024 because we actually plan to achieve our goals. This is us confronting all of the things and all of the ways that we might be holding ourselves back and holding ourselves accountable and doing the work that it takes to grow through all of the challenges and actually achieve our goals. I'm going to go through the list really fast and then start dissecting them one by one and tell you about the ways that I work through them. And I'm hoping that if you relate to any of these things, you share some of the ways that you work through all of these things, and hopefully we can help each other. Starting off strong: people pleasing, fear of success, survivor's guilt, late trauma, perfectionism, lack of confidence, corporate burnout, financial burnout, imposter syndrome, self sabotage, intergenerational trauma, procrastination, fear of failure, resentment, social anxiety, lack of focus, pessimism, business burnout, financial anxiety, depression, social sabotage, and last but not least, oppression. In all of the ways that we get oppressed every single day that we do not acknowledge or address. Now, starting from the bottom, oppression. This is a long and hard topic. I really feel that it is something every single individual, princess or not, your nationality, your financial status, even your social status, none of it matters sometimes when it comes to the oppression that human beings can face in the society that has been created today. We all want to thrive in this same society. It's really hard to acknowledge each and every type of oppression that we experience, but it does affect us. And if we don't acknowledge it, at least personally, it will continue to hinder us in one way or another, and it will continue to come in the way of you and your goals. My opinion is whatever your stand is on oppression and however oppression affects you in your daily life or has affected you throughout your life, take a stand for yourself. You have to take a stand for yourself. It's always been the way, and it will always be the way to overcome oppression. You can never overcome oppression by giving in. You can never overcome oppression with compliance. It just does not work that way because the nature of oppression is to subdue. So you need to stand for yourself and stand for something important, not just yourself, okay? You can easily be defeated, very easily. No matter how great you think you are, you can be defeated. And not because God will not help you, but because God says, humble yourself. And so the humility in this scenario is acknowledging all of the ways that you are oppressed and acknowledging all of the ways that the oppression affects not only you, but the world, and then choosing what you stand for, all for the purpose of making the world a better place and you getting closer to achieving your goals. Oppression, of course, doesn't always have to be political. It could very much be within a family, a relationship. Just don't let anybody make you feel like you're less important than you are in any situation, whatever. If you are putting yourself in situations where you know that there is no respect or consideration on the table, then you also need to acknowledge that maybe the oppressor is you. And come for you now. Because it's fun when we come for everybody else, but that's not really what this is about. Growth is very much a personal journey, and it takes so much internal work and reflection. Social sabotage. Now, what is social sabotage? I'm gonna have to Google that because social sabotage, according to the Urban Dictionary, is saying something weird or inappropriate to someone you just met, knowing fully well it would either turn them off or strike a long life connection. I don't have much experience with this, but if you do, and that is something that has gotten in the way of you achieving your goals, then maybe you should do something about it because apparently this has come up a lot for people. I don't know what that's about. So moving on. Depression. Not something I like to talk about. I will say this though. If you do struggle with depression, the depression is not you and you are not the depression. I know it can be super hard to separate the two, especially during those low moments, but the fact that you're still here is proof that you're already a winner. So I just need you to keep winning, okay? Wake up and choose to win. Over every symptom, over every trigger, choose to win because that's what you are, a winner. I didn't always feel like a winner. I always felt very ashamed of this diagnosis. It was just always very hard for me to acknowledge. Because of a lot of family history, that's all very personal and triggering. However, it's not the end of the world, okay? Even though I was super dramatic about everything, the world kept going round. I kept pushing every single day. Now I am living in answered prayers. On those low days, you can't really see all of the blessings that are around you. When you struggle with depression, it's really hard to see all of the answered prayers that you're actually living in. After all of the overwhelming emotions, after you let them out, I want you to take a deep breath and just look around you. And I promise you, you are living in at least one answered prayer at any point in time, no matter the heartbreak. After you let all of those heavy emotions out, and think of all the things that you have to be grateful for, and that will get you through to the next task that you need to fulfill. Just always remember you're right where you need to be. You're feeling whatever your body needs to feel. You're human. Feelings are okay, overwhelming or not. It will pass. You will be okay. Depression for some people is more severe than others. Not everybody has an official diagnosis, but they do experience these symptoms. Take care of yourself, no matter what any doctor says, no matter what anybody else says. Nobody can tell you more about yourself than you. I promise you. Listen to your body, listen to your heart, listen to your mind. It will all be okay. It's really not the end of the world. Actually, it's the beginning of a new, exciting kind of world. I usually wonder how I would experience the world if I didn't struggle with depression. It's wonderful when I think about the fact that I can experience this and still create and still be a force for good, be a blessing and still be loved and love. I can still do everything I ever wanted to do, but I just have the knowledge that I'm stronger now and that I'm a winner now. Every single day I wake up, I know that God's plan for me is bigger than the plots of the enemy. And so I've got work to do. It's so important to also let your emotions out. I used to also hold my emotions in for the longest time. I used to brag about not being able to cry or not just crying over anything until that diagnosis and a whole bunch of other health issues that occurred after. I learned that the body will do something with the pain if you don't let it out. And you don't want the body to take the pain and do something with it because you're not going to like what it does. And I'm telling you that from experience, trust me. You need to always be letting out these emotions and create a safe space for yourself to be able to let out these emotions without judgment. It's really hard to express yourself if you're not in a place where you feel safe. I would say this year, create a safe space for yourself to be able to express your emotions and just let all of the overwhelming emotions out whenever you need to. Financial anxiety. Oh my God. For someone who used to call herself unemployed, I know way too much about financial anxiety. And in this economy, I'm sure I'm not the only one. At this point, I've seen even people that earn six figures come online and complain about not being able to afford life. Of course, a lot of people think that's ridiculous, but honestly, their experience is valid because it's real to them. It's not simple, but the way that I combat my financial anxiety is budgeting. Recently, I have been more minimalist and sustainable. They say brain broke will make you creative, but that's not the energy we're bringing into 2024. We are getting all the bags and all the wealth and all the prosperity and success in 2024. Amen. Anyways, as I was saying, budgeting has been my way to combat financial anxiety. I've also been planning out my spending. Usually I would spend more spontaneously, but that has been causing me financial anxiety, and I had to acknowledge that and put a cap on the spontaneous spending because I want to have financial security and peace of mind. The second way that I combat my financial anxiety is financial education. Yes, it will surprise you how many people don't know that much about their finances, and this doesn't even have to do with the amount of money they have. They just have no financial education. So learning about finances has made me feel more at ease about my finances in general. I know that my long-term goals are secure, even if my short-term finances are still in the works. Business burnout. I don't like the fact that I can relate to too many of these. It's given, when are you ever going to achieve your goal? But I will, and you will too. We will. Okay, business burnout. I run a small business called Water Brownies. Check out our Instagram. If you're in Toronto, I am relaunching as a catering service that is in the works right now. I am going to be selling at a market this coming week, so I'm excited to get back into the kitchen and to be back in business. However, I did experience business burnout earlier this year. I had too many projects going. I was in school full time and I was working full time. I know a lot of people that you see online have like full-time jobs and like side hustles, but listen, remember when I said you gotta listen to your heart, your mind, and your body? Pace yourself, or your body will pace it for you, I promise. Okay, I'm not hoping that will happen. I'm hoping you actually take your own advice and listen to your body and pace yourself. But if you don't, at least you know what will happen, and don't say you didn't. I was trying to run my business while doing all of those things, and I experienced extreme hate. Hate is a very strong word, but I disliked baking. I started my business because I love baking, and at this point, I just felt like I was not a baker anymore. Why? Because I was experiencing business burnout. I wasn't able to run the business according to the vision that I had. And I found that frustrating. All of my efforts weren't resulting in the way that I wanted it to. And as a result, my emotions manifested as a dislike for baking, when in fact, I just needed a strategy and some rest, an actual plan before going back into the business and making it work, which is what we're going to do now. That we've actually learned about businesses, know what to do moving forward to ensure that we're able to run a successful small business. And like I said, the solution to business burnout is a strategy. And of course, if you have the funds, a team. Don't underestimate the progress that a team will make you. You have a team, you are able to delegate and actually get things done faster. So you need a strategy and, if possible, a team. And obviously, you need to be consistent with your business, just as you are with whatever goals you have for yourself in 2024. Pessimism. Now, pessimism is not something I can relate to, thank God. Although I'm being a judge of my own character, I think that's fine since this is my YouTube channel. I say with my chest that I'm not a pessimistic person. I agree to being a logical person, but pessimistic? No, I'm not pessimistic. I will ask a lot of questions out of curiosity and never pessimism. Unless you're somebody I don't trust. But even then, I don't think I can relate to pessimism. However, if you come from a very traditional family, this is something that you may experience from the outside. The key to overcoming pessimism is to never internalize it. A lot of us have childhood wounds from having pessimistic people around us, and we're still working to overcome that. If there's more pessimism in our present surrounding and environment, then we need to really make sure that we're doing the internal work to deflect and not internalize any of that negative energy. Lack of focus. A neurodivergent person will struggle with lack of focus and assume that it is a personal flaw and a character flaw. But in reality, It's not. And even if you're not neurodivergent, there are many factors that could lead to you having a lack of focus, like stress. People underestimate the damage that stress actually does to the body. If you struggle with a lack of focus, you might benefit from making a list of priorities, settling down, listening to calm music, meditating, working out, and things that really get your body and mind back into their natural state where there's no stress being held in. You want to be in a state where you're not holding in any stress or emotions for you to really focus. Social anxiety. Again, can't relate. I find it hilarious that I struggle with anxiety, but not social anxiety. I'm actually a very social person. I actually stop myself from speaking to people sometimes. I actually make the choice to leave them alone. There's nothing actually stopping me from going up to them and making conversation. And more often than not, I will make conversation with strangers. However, ironically, I don't always want to continue the relationship outside of that social setting. A lot of people might think me a snob, but I'm just really picky with my friendships, and I think everyone should be. On the topic of social anxiety, though, I'm very much open to meeting new people because as a creative and business owner, I'm always thinking to network. The bigger your network, the bigger your net worth, right? That is the reason why I don't struggle with social anxiety. My opinion on this for a remedy would be to practice exposure therapy. How bad can it be once you actually put yourself out there, make it awkward and weird and whatever, and then reflect back on that, see what could be better. Try to do it at least 1% better next time. That's how you're gonna get over your social anxiety. You're welcome. Resentment. Resentment is bound to build up in an environment where someone is being oppressed. Ironically, the oppressor also resents the resentment of whoever they are oppressing. It's pretty messed up, but it's usually like that. If you're dealing with resentment, then you definitely want to change your environment. It's so important to release resentment because you cannot channel negative and positive energy at the same time. It just cannot work. It doesn't work that way. So you need to release whatever negative energy you're holding on to in order for you to be able to channel positive energy towards your growth and your goals. Resentment will do more harm to you than to the person that you resent. Even if you cannot change your environment, you need to make sure that you're changing your mental environment. So the things that you're consuming, the media that you consume, the places you spend your time, make sure that they're things that actually fuel you in a positive way so that you're actually putting some positivity into your life and your goals. Fear of failure. Now, this one is a general issue. Maybe not for the Nepo babies. Honestly, I can't speak for them. I don't know. I think this is something everyone experiences at least once, no matter where you are in life. Fear of failure could creep in from nowhere. The most confident people will tell you that they pretend even when they feel afraid. And that just shows you that fear is not real. Fear is not real. The fear of failure is also the fear of success. Success is achieved by failing and failing and failing and learning from all of those failures and applying all of those lessons. If you're scared of failing, you need to ask yourself why you even want to succeed. Why do you want to succeed? And how bad are you willing to try? If you're not even willing to try, then do you even want to succeed? So, to overcome your fear of failure, just ask yourself why you want to succeed. Make a vision board. As you can see, I have my vision board here. I still get discouraged. I still have no motivation some days. I still need to call my friends up for motivation. However, it's not because of a fear of failure. So if your issue that is coming between you and your goals is a fear of failure, then you need to take action towards confronting those fears. Instead of fearing failure, get comfortable with it and see how that works out. Procrastination. Oh my God. I can't believe I'm going to sit here and tell you how to not procrastinate. But since we're taking our own advice, that's fine. I'm pretty sure you have your own methods that you use. But if you don't, the methods that I use in order to not allow procrastinations hinder me from achieving my goals is setting reminders and writing notes in as many places as possible and using a planner. And that has helped me stay on top of tasks and not procrastinate. Another way that I deal with procrastination, this one is pretty ironic, but it is by giving myself grace and actually determining the reason as to why I'm avoiding the task. Once I'm able to pinpoint the reason why I'm avoiding the task, I can more easily find another way to motivate myself to do that task, maybe by starting at a different level of the task instead of the first level. Procrastination is something most people go through. Remember to give yourself grace. As much as you want to be consistent and disciplined, there needs to be a balance. If you push yourself too hard, you are going to burn out and feel really bad about yourself. Feel really bad about the fact that you weren't able to achieve the goals that you set. I really hope you've learned something from this video. If you have solutions or tips that you'd like to share about how you deal with any of these issues, we would love to hear it. I would love for us to help each other out and build a community where we take our own advice and also learn from each other how to apply ourselves and get through this thing called life. The rest of the list will be gone through in a part 2 because I don't want to go through the whole list in one video. It's a lot of heavy stuff. You need to reflect after this, set your goals, set your goals, set your cause of actions, identify your patterns, get one step closer to achieving all the things on your vision board by problem solving, identifying your patterns, acknowledging all of the ways that you need to change, and acknowledging all of the things that you need to change. I'd love to hear what you thought of this video, if there was anything that you related to, and if you're looking forward to part 2. Thanks for watching Princesscoree. Thanks for being part of the community. And I really hope that this video helps you in a way to apply yourself further. I really hope 2024 will be the year we achieve the goals that we've set. And I really hope we can learn to stop getting in our own way. I will see you in my next video. Toodles. Remember, princesses, you've got this. You have so much more to offer the world than what you see right now. Just believe in yourself and believe that you're a winner. And remember to always speak to yourself kindly.